Hello everyone, this is Big Benedict, chapter 21 of the guide. This is the Gotham City Royal Hotel. So we're in the parking garage, and there's two guys right here to fight, and then we're going to be taking a left over here. This is another one of those long chapters, but I really enjoyed this chapter, to be honest. We have a martial artist down here, as well as a body armor guy somewhere around here. But if you notice, these guys are now jokesters. They've got Joker masks on because one of the plot reveals was that it was Joker, not the Black Mask, causing the trouble. But Black Mask was doing some pretty bad criminal activity, and that's where we come in to put our foot down and kick some people's asses. Hardcore, right? Right, everybody? Hardcore never dies. That's a trademark of my channel. And it is kind of a... I thought it was cool when I wrote that, but it's kind of... It can be construed as kind of corny, and, you know, I don't play, like, the hardest games ever, but some people think that some of the games I play are rather challenging, and that's cool, because, I don't know, it's something about me just, like, really likes to be challenged on a personal level, single player, strictly single player. I never play multiplayer. Not finding any enjoyment in it. I mean, when I say never, I mean the only thing I've ever really done on multiplayer is I've played a little Sigma 2 sometimes to get some of those trophies. But other than that, never played any multiplayer ever, and never want to. So we're just about clearing this fight up. We took out the martial artist, and we are going to get the... What are they? I don't even know what they're called, but I'm going to call them power gloves, for lack of a better word. We had power gloves in God of War. Which one was it? Well, first of all, they reminded me of... Oh, before I forget that, it's in Chains of Olympus where you get this power glove. You get the power glove. It's called the Gauntlet of Zeus, I believe. But in this game, they are straight off of Electrocutioner. And it's kind of bizarre because you don't even fight Electrocutioner. Anyway, this puzzle down here requires you to hit the switch with the Batarang, and then use your remote claw to get up here, and then take a right, hit the switch, and then what happens here? I think this opens the lower door. There we go. But I played through the... What is it? Saturday today? I think it was 2 nights ago. I played through the Lords of Shadow 2 demo, and it was really fantastic. Excuse me for a second. I had to look at something, but yeah, the demo was really fantastic, and it's nice because you can take off the QTEs if you want to. So this section here, we're going through the lobby, and we have a hard situation here of stealth. We're going to have a couple of these situations in this chapter. What I like to do, though, first of all, is glide over to this guy, and then press R2 to hang, and then drop. If you do the inverted takedown, he'll scream, and then everybody will rush over to you. So you can always get that guy killed, and then... This was the first time I went over here, and it worked out pretty well. So if you want to follow in my footsteps, you really can't go wrong. This works out really well. So take out this guy here, and with no detective vision, it makes for a challenge. I can't deny that it really does. So, ooh, that definitely caused a disturbance. I'm not sure why I went so reckless right there, but I did, and now I'm going to have to just run away until things calm down. So I'm going to go in the grate. This grate right here goes all over the lower portion of this in like a U shape. It goes a long way. This took me a few tries to get this to work. Some of the more challenging aspects of the Batman games have always been these stealth sections for me. And I also remember really struggling on the Joker boss fight in Arkham Asylum. I thought that was a tough fight. The boss fight in Arkham City, that did not prove too challenging. What I really loved about Arkham Asylum was the Joker, not excuse me, what's that? The villain from Batman Begins. I'm drawing a blank. You all know who he is, though. I can't remember his name. The Sandman or something? The guy with the mask? The Scarecrow, that's who he was. A really cool villain from that game. And that was probably the standout moment of that game for me. The standout moment of Arkham City was... I think it was with... If Ra's al Ghul is in that game, I remember really having fun on that one sequence in his flying sections and fighting those enemies. I really want to do a guide for Arkham Asylum. In fact, I was going to do one a while ago, but it just didn't pan out. So I think I'm going to make a move for this guy over here. Fall down here because this is the safest way to travel. Just be aware. Now, did you see that right there? That doesn't cause any noise. Although it looks like it might cause noise. It's deceptive like that. So now that guy's taken care of. Now I need to duck into this cover really quickly. And I think I take this guy down too. I should have, but I hesitated. Now there's only one more guy left. But still, never underestimate just one more guy left. Because look what happens over here. I think he damages me. Yeah, stun locked, and I stunned him with the cape, and it was all fine. But that's the last enemy. If you're having trouble, just remember that patience really pays off, and you need to be quiet. That's the main thing. And just pick off the isolated enemies. So our next goal is to the office, and we're going to get a cutscene in here, which I edit out. We need, use this first. Use the sequencer to open the door. I'm not sure what this says. It was blurry. I spy, that's what it said. Okay, so now we got the power gloves, the shock gloves, and these are really overpowered weapons that I'm not going to abuse, but I'm definitely going to use them. How they work is that there is a gauge that accrues while you're fighting battles. Now doing that is just a means of interacting with the environment so that you can traverse the environment itself. But you will see in these fights it'll have a battery meter now that builds up. It's kind of like in God of War, the rage attacks, if you build it up. Similarly to that game, if you activate it, you can't unactivate it. Although you can in God of War 3. They did let you unactivate it. So hold this until it's charged up, and then slide through. You could trip this guy if you line up the correct path right there. Although it doesn't kill him, that's regrettable though. But you see the shock gloves right there, top left. It has no bearing. I mean, the combo has no bearing on it. I mean, it probably fills up faster if you have a really high combo. But the one thing you should know, though, is that it never decreases because you're losing combos or you're getting hit or anything. It only decreases if you use it by tapping the L3 and the R3. So, once it says that they're activated and you can use them, feel free to use them. But remember, if you use them, it's gonna drain no matter what. So it would be nice if you could actually stop, use them for like a couple seconds and then click the buttons again so you could save your juice. But that is really, I don't know, I don't like that. But we're coming up on some really cool sequences up ahead with Joker, who, if I'm not mistaken, is voiced by Troy Baker, the voice actor from The Last of Us. I don't know who voices Batman. I did search for who voices Gabriel Belmont, and found out that I already knew who it was. Robert Carlyle, but I didn't know what he looked like. And sometimes if you just like, for instance, me, if you ever see my face, which you never will, not because it's hideous or anything, but sometimes I don't know. I just don't want. It's not a necessary part of the channel. My voice isn't all that you need to know. But sometimes you hear a person, and then if you ever see their face, it like ruins the whole impression you've had. So that's why I won't ever reveal my face, because you all who are listening, you all have a mental image of what I look like in our heads. It's unavoidable. But if you ever saw me, it would just contradict what your mental image was, and you would probably be disappointed. Like I was. I've been disappointed before seeing. There's an opera program that I listen to. I've been listening to it since 2001. It's on Capital Public Radio, 88.9. It's on the internet too. It's on tonight, actually. I call it my opera fest. My brother calls it my pig fest. Like I'm some kind of a pig or something. But he was just joking. But I listened to that show for like 5 years, never knowing really who the guy was. His name is Sean Bianco. And like back in like those years when I was doing that, I never really had access to a computer, and also they never really had a website too for that department, the radio department. And then they finally had one, and I looked at the guy's face, and it just ruined it, because I had pictured some older, slender guy, some kind of bookish kind of guy, and it turned out to be this huge whale of a guy with a lisp. I already knew he had a lisp, and I'm not dissing people who are fat, because I'm overweight myself, and too much beer, not enough exercise. I'm trying to mitigate that. But anyway, over here we're going to have a turret around the corner, so you're going to need to use the disruptor at an angle right here so it doesn't hit you. So use the disruptor, and then you could freely go over here. You won't get killed right away from that gun. I think 5 or more hits you might be in peril of dying. So we've got a martial artist down here, a bodyguard enemy, and a standard thug. So it's a trio of pretty much shit, because these are really hard enemies. And I detest these martial artists. I don't think they have any place in this game, because they're unpredictable, and it's fine that they're a challenge, but if you're really trying to get some good combos going, these guys just wreck your combo. You can't even do the iframes takedown on them. They'll counter that. Now the thing is, you can counter their attacks, but it's kind of random. Sometimes it lets you, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes when you counter them, you get punished pretty bad. Sometimes nothing happens. It's just kind of bizarre. But these power gloves demolish everybody. So if you're ever in a bind and a hard spot in this game, if you can't, I don't know. This game is bizarre. Having they've never had select screens, like chapter select, but they've never really needed those until we've had these profound glitches that have happened, game-breaking glitches that they're trying to restore and make software patches for. But anyway, this part right here, you want to follow the broken yellow and black sidings here, and feel free to move the camera around. And then when you get up here, climb up here, hit the R1 button, and then we're going to need to use our remote claw. So here, just interact with the control panel. It's going to deactivate the jets of steam up there. Or no, excuse me, it deactivated the fans. There's probably some hidden item beyond there. I'm not really going for hidden items too much. I'm just trying to stick to the main part of the guide so I can have everything expedited pretty well. So use the back claw on this, pull it. I'm not sure how that translates to the steam dissipating on the floor, but it works, and I'm not complaining. So hook your way up here, take down this guy here. This was the only guy in this area. I was actually looking for him for a while because it said that there was one hostile who was unarmed. Okay, so that's the wrong way. Sorry about that. There may be a hidden item over there as well. Now we're coming to some really fun stuff. I think this is the checkpoint area too. Okay, so we're basically climbing this entire hotel. You want to slide under here if you want, or just duck. And another fight here. And I'm not sure what the hell is on that fence there. It's probably some victim. Some crucified victim. I was looking at it. I'm like, what the hell is that? Anyway. Checkpoint area right here. We're going to go down and do a very fun fight. Okay, who do we have down here? We have some thugs and a guy with body armor. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. There's plenty of space to work with down here. So just remember that when those guys with the body armor are attacking you from behind, you'll always get a chance to parry, or not parry, counterattack. But you can't follow the counterattack up with anything since you have to begin your attacks with a cave stun. Okay, do I activate the gloves here? Sometimes when I see something like it says activate the gloves, sometimes I just do it because it says it. And I really wish that they wouldn't put those little notes on there, because I wouldn't ordinarily use it. I like to preserve my items. Right there I was trying to turn the gloves off. Anyway, next section right here. Okay, the next thing we're going to be doing is using the batarang to hit these switches here, which are going to cause these two wooden planks to go forward, so that now we can lock onto these those two cleats using the remote claw, and then jump on over to this location and use the explosive gel to open this area. We've got a couple of puzzles coming up. One is fairly simple. Now this cryptographic sequencer dilemma right here, you're going to see me have several password rejected screens. Now if I remember from the previous game, what an upgrade would allow you to do in that game was to not fail this so many times. Now we're getting into the heart of the game, nearing its completion. We still got quite a ways to go, but Joker is really screwing with us and not letting us get our passwords there. So I believe an upgrade will be available so that we don't have to have so many rejected passwords. So what you want to do now that the electricity is out of the water, you want to hang a right over here, and once you step onto this pressure switch, you're going to use your remote controlled batarang to go through one eye of this mask here, and then do a U-turn by pressing the R2 button. And at this point you can press the L2 brake. You could press the brake by pressing the L2. Once you do the U-turn, you don't have to keep holding the two buttons. You could actually hold nothing and then just move the left analog stick. This next puzzle I really like. It's kind of a memory game. There's only two phases to it. You're going to have a guy being electrocuted if you fail, but he's only there to pull at your sympathy cord. So look at the pattern. It went from 1, 3, 4 to 2. So hit the first one, hit the third one, hit the fourth one, and then hit the second one. That's the first phase. 4, 3, 1, 2. So once it lowers, hit the fourth one, hit the third one, hit the first one, hit the second one. And that's all that memory game consists of. Now you're going to head out here. We're going to do a big brawl. So hang a right over here and just fly on down into this arena. I really love this level. It's one of my favorite levels now. So we have one giant, several lackeys, and a martial artist. What I actually purchased was Oh no, I haven't got that upgrade yet, but I got an upgrade where you can have several button combinations for for automatic takedowns, for iframes takedowns. Now you see when that martial artist jumps at you, and he's kind of got that. It's kind of like a hazy kind of counter sign over him that flashes very quickly. What that means, that right there, that means double tap the triangle button. You need to do a double counter on him to safely react to that and not take damage. But I don't believe I activate the gloves here. And I also don't activate them on another of the hard fights once Bane's mercenaries show up. You really don't need the gloves. I mean, I would save them for a time when you really need them. Because these are just standard fights. Oh, I do activate the gloves. My bad. I know I don't activate it on the next big brawl, though. And it's not because, you know, I want it. It's actually because I want more of a challenge. With that equipped, it just murders everybody in a few punches. But if my back was ever to the wall, I would definitely use it. So once this last guy is dead, you're going to hook shot your way up to this upper railing up here, this platform. And then hit the switch, and that's going to cause the jack-in-the-box to come out, exposing a cleat for you to hook on with the remote claw. So we've got a lot of XP right there. So head on in through the door. And we have one guy who is an innocent bystander and one guy who's causing him distress. So we're going to take him down. Okay, so next we're going to go through this door, and there will be a floor grating to go through. So just press the R2 plus X button, I believe it is. Yes, to go down here. And I did want to mention, before I even do that though, just take anyone you want out right there who's closest to the grating, and then prepare for this big battle. The move that I did buy under the close combat upgrades is something called the double special combo move. Now this is an advanced combo technique that allows you to earn up to 2 special combo moves, excuse me. Now there's 4 options for this. What you can do is press, and incidentally, you have to have your multiplier flashing that gold color, meaning that you've reached, see that number right there? It says ×8. Okay, so the first one is the O plus triangle, which is the special combo takedown. The next one is X plus square, which is a special combat bat swarm. The next one is square plus triangle, which is a special combo disarm and destroy. So that possibly could work good for enemies with guns. And then the final one is the X plus O button, which is the special combo multi-ground takedown. So I'm going to have to look into that a little bit more, but those are the button presses that will get you advanced combos and take more people out. More bang for your buck, if you'll pardon me that rather vulgar cliche. So here's the bomb room. It's going to automatically go into detective vision, and you'll have to excuse me. I'm stuttering. I'm trying to drink a cola here. It's late at night. It's almost midnight, and this video is just so huge, you guys. It's like in 50 clips right now. But I like to have all my videos in one. This game doesn't have chapters, but what I do like to have is, a chapter per video, or in this case, it's the hotel. So everything regarding the hotel, I want it in one video. I don't like splitting my videos up. So I thought this was pretty interesting, actually. You hook on to Vicky Vale's helicopter, the news department helicopter, and there's 2. Well, there's one pretty unique point of reference when you're fighting as Batman but the camera perspective is through the news team's video recorder. So check this out. It's pretty interesting. You want to tap the O button to jump off right here, drop down, and then you're in this perspective here, which is really, it's pretty interesting. I mean, this game has so far, it's provided me with a lot of enjoyment through this game's creativity. I can't, I mean, I couldn't ask for more. You know, glitches aside, yes, the glitches are shitty. But anyway, back to combat strategies here. Do your counters, do your quick hits. So there was the multi, what was that? You see, I took out that guy. If you rewind that, and I'm going to have to here because things are going so fast, but where is that? I wrote it down here somewhere. That was that must have been the special combo multi-ground takedown. So this game does indeed get a lot easier as you start buying these upgrades, but if you're starting a new game on hard, it really is hard because you start with nothing. You start with no upgrades. So what do we have here? We've got some lackeys. These are actually Bane's mercenaries. I could have activated the shock gloves and just demolished this fight, but I'm the kind of person that wants a challenge. So I think right there, once again, I did the X plus O move. And that isn't going to work for you unless you buy that higher up upgrade that I recommend, that I mentioned a moment ago. So it'll take you a while to get that far in the upgrade tree, even though it's not really a tree because an upgrade tree would go vertically. This one goes horizontally. But anyway, the next video is going to be the Bane boss fight, and I wanted to take a look at what was written on that wall. I might rewind it and pause it while I'm watching my own videos, because yes, I do that. Mostly just to make sure there's no errors in my videos. Okay, so this final part here of the chapter is another stealth section, and it's not really that challenging. First of all, we have reinstated, we have the detective vision. So, I like this area. It's pretty cool. If you fall in the water, Batman can't swim, so he'll grappling hook out of it. So, I like to take care of this guy first. Now, the thing about this fight, though, or this stealth section, is there are proximity mines on the ground, and these enemies also have, some of them, not this guy, but the guy I just killed, you might have, if you rewind that, he had a proximity sensor on him. So, when I took him out, when I took that guy out, people were alerted, but after only a certain time. Now, after you kill X number of enemies here, I think like 4 or 5 enemies, then what's going to happen is that the enemies are going to have placed on these gargoyles proximity sensors. So you can still go on the gargoyles, but I think after 3 seconds, what's going to happen is they're going to go off, and the enemies will know exactly where you are. So feel free. See, this guy had a proximity mine on him, or a sensor. I think that's what damaged me right here. No, not that. It damages me later on, I think, ironically. But this is not the point where the sensors are yet. But that's one of the, you know, when I saw that in the other games, it's a progression, and I understand it, and it's fair. I just don't like it. But do I understand it? Yeah, of course I understand it. This game needs to get progressively challenging. You can't just stay on the gargoyles and forever. But I'm looking to take this guy down. Hopefully he gets over a little bit more for me to grab him. There we go. Grab him. That was a silent takedown. But like I said, some of these guys have proximity mines on them, and I don't know how to think about it with the proximity mines. Do I like it? No, but I understand that, you know, a game is supposed to get progressively challenging, and these games do that so well that they should be applauded for what they do. Okay, so we have those 4 guys in a cluster over there. That's never really good, but I think that's all there are. Now, when there's 4 guys left, there are now sensors or not proximity mines. Well, they could be, but there's sensors on the gargoyles. So, like I mentioned, you cannot stay on any one for too long, or the enemies will look right where you are. So, so in a situation like that, if they know where you are, you can, in theory, start swinging around on other gargoyles. But you can never loiter on these gargoyles anymore. And when you hook onto the gargoyles, you will hear beeping sounds. Now, it's not going to count against you until I think 3 seconds have gone by. So even though it's beeping, they're not getting alerted. It's just a way of communicating with you to tell you that you need to get off pretty quickly. So I'm going to take down this guy right here, and I think... Oh no, I thought I might have done... Yeah, I thought you could just walk on the water or whatever, but we're not Jesus here. But this is as far as you can go. I was trying to go over to the left more, but it wouldn't let me. And climbing up right there would have been suicide.
I will avenge you, my brother.
But in an earlier video, I was kind of complaining how when you're hook-shotting onto upper platforms, it doesn't pull you up. Ooh, that alerted them. Shit. I was complaining about how when you're latching onto stuff, it doesn't automatically pull you up. Now, if you're in a situation like this, obviously you wouldn't want to get pulled up. So what I was talking about was it should automatically pull you to the top of the ledge if there is no enemies in the vicinity. Or if you're in a situation like this, any stealth section. They could program it like that. It wouldn't be hard. Or it could just be a setting you could toggle on and off. But it looks like we have 2 enemies left right here. And to unsnap out of cover, you just press O, just in case you wanted to know that. I think this guy saw me. Yeah. Yep, he saw me, so I had pretty much no choice. I need to do the ground takedown. And then this guy stun locked me, but I was able to get over to him, having enough health left. So once this guy's dead, you want to jump on down to the elevator, but you're going to need to use your sequencer. And I edited out some of the rejected passwords that I got here. But that is the conclusion of the video, finally. And I'll see you in the next video, which is the Bane boss fight.